Welcome back everyone to Pontos Fathom Hobbies Eldritch Horror playthrough of Yog-Sothoth. This is turn 14. A quick recap here. We've gotten one Eldritch token onto the last mystery, our third mystery. We gained a couple cards last time from the Mythos phase that were from our encounters phase. Joe Diamond has a wanted condition. He cannot acquire assets, and when he performs a travel he may roll a die. On a 4, 5, and 6 he can discard this card, so that's good. And then Rita Young has acquired a binding spell. When you're another investigator on any space resolves a combat encounter, you may test. Oh wow, this is great. So maybe they can go. I think I've got the plan here. If they resolve a lore test, they can reduce the monster's damage to 1 during that encounter. So that is great. Maybe they can go take on one of these monster hives. And then finally, the Safina, the painter, acquired an old journal. She can test her observation, and she can discover information, flip the card. So that is interesting. And she also has a wanted condition. She cannot acquire assets as well. So it seems that the forces of Yog-Sothoth, these cultists unleashed on the earth, have gotten wind of our investigators, and they are in the middle of being hunted. So let's just review the mystery card again. When the investigators pass a lore test while resolving a spell. So let's start out by resolving some spells. Joe Diamond has a spell that he called Summon Byake. And with this spell, he can move to a space within 2 spaces of himself. Okay, so what he will do is, I think he will also resolve this test, because by resolving, well, let's have him, actually I'm going to have him move 1 from one of his action. And then he will also resolve this spell, which is a test of lore. He's got the lore here. And then he can move 2 spaces by this. So let's have him resolve his. Okay. He will spend a clue to reroll. Okay, and he rolls a 6, so he resolves this, and he can move 2 spaces of his choice. Now, having resolved this, he can spend an additional clue to place 1 Eldritch token on this card. Okay, so he has joined our team here in Arkham. So this is Joe Diamond's turn. They can do encounter phases next. So I will put these off. Next, so she's not in a monster. She cannot resolve that. So is there anything that they can trade? I will have Safina give Joe Diamond 2 of these clues, and he may be able to close it next round. And I will also have her travel 1 toward this monster to close it. And I will have Rita Young acquire a. She will acquire a train ticket, and maybe she'll try to go and close that monster gate over there via San Francisco. She acquires a ticket, and then she will move the ticket to San Francisco. Okay, so now our action phase is completed. Turn 14 of the Yog-Sothoth game. We are down to Doomsday of 2. So this is it's down to the wire for the investigator. So encounter phase. No monsters to encounter here. Arkham is Joe Diamond's encounter. On Arkham, it says, during the night, you have a nightmare about the old witch, Kezia Mason. In the dream, she shares her power with you. Gain 1 incantation spell. When you wake up, you fear that the old witch will someday ask you a favor in return. So he can do his will, +1. He rolls a 5. And if you okay, that's it. He just does not get a bad condition. So Jope finishes his Arkham encounter. Rita in San Francisco will do an encounter. You speak to a military prisoner on Alcatraz Island. He tells you his story of deserting after encountering a horrific creature. So she will roll 4. She passes. If you pass, he thanks you for believing him and blesses your name. Gain a blessed condition. Okay, she shall gain a blessed condition. And lastly, Sefina is just going to have an encounter in the city. To find the city's legendary magic shop requires knowledge of ley lines. Okay, so she will understand ley lines. She has a -1 to her. Oh, one thing before we have to read her painted world. So Sefina actually passed her painted world reward. So it says when you gain this card, improve her lore and her will. So let me improve her lore and her will. I forgot to do this last time. So improve her lore and her will. So now she has the painted world. And then action, reveal the top gate of the gate stack, and she can resolve that. So that is for Sefina, because you see she has those 3 on her deck. So let's go again. So she's going to resolve the ley lines with lore, -1, which is 4, -1, which is 3. And she passes. And if you pass, the owner will sell you only a single curio. Gain 1 random magical asset from the deck. And from the deck here, we will get 1 magical asset. And she has grabbed the, oddly enough, the map of the ley lines, which was exactly what this was talking about. It requires, no, that's so odd. So, okay, she's got the map of the ley lines. Okay, that's cool. She's got this 1 item, and she gains +1, again, +1 to lore and +1 to her will. So she can just flip these to 2. This is fantastic for her. Okay, so that is that, and that encounter is finished. Okay, now it is on to Mythos phase. We only have 4 Mythos phase, so we are in the 3rd stage of the Mythos. This will be a tough card for sure. So let's see what's up. Okay, advance the the Omen. Advance the Omen to the blue symbol. We have 1 gate open with the blue symbol, so we advance Doom by 1. Sitting down, it's called the Treacherous Event, Treacherous Magic. Sitting down for a simple meal in a restaurant, it strikes you how alien the people around you seem. After everything you've seen and all the arcane secrets you have learned, can you truly think of yourself as one of them? The maitre d' asks you to please stop carving into the table with the knife. Oh my gosh, it's funny. Okay, so we've moved the Omen. Now we will resolve the Reckoning. Again, most of these reckonings had to do with if you're on the monster space. I believe the Witch. This one moves back to here, Flying Polyp. The Witch says each investigator who has a cursed condition loses 1 health. None of us have a cursed condition. And the Ghoul Priest says resolve this effect of the cultist as listed in H1 sheet, which means if we're there, so that's fine. No impact for those. The wanted condition, however, we have to test both of our wanted conditions. So I'll do that right now. The test I here. Joe Diamond fails his test, and The lawman quickly puts you in handcuffs and search your room for evidence. Gain a detained condition and impair influence. So his influence is impaired now. So Joe Diamond is detained and influence impaired. And I'm just going to put this little skull on him to have him be detained. And then also Safina will roll her test for her pursuit condition. After that, I can discard Joe Diamond's wanted card. So he's already incarcerated by the police in Arkham. It's going to happen this. Also, Safina will have to test hers. So she tests her observation, which is also 4. She passes, so she does not need to. She's still on the lam, so to speak. Okay, so past the reckoning, and now spawn a gate. So we can spawn the gate for that is in the Dreamlands. This is in the Dreamlands. The pyramids. So we spawn a gate in the pyramids. We dig into the monster bag, and we get a moon beast in the pyramids. And finally, we can read the treacherous magic event. Each investigator may discard any number of spells. He then loses 1 sanity for each spell he has. Each investigator that lost sanity also gains a madness condition. Wow. So Joe Diamond no longer has a spell because he cast his. So Joe Diamond is all set. Rita, we'll have her keep her spell because I think she'll need this spell to close the gate. So she will lose a sanity instead and gain a madness condition. So I'll make the note to have her gain the madness condition, so she loses 1 sanity. And Safina as well, she has several spells here. She has 2 spells. Again, I want her to keep her spells because if she resolves a combat phase, but maybe she can leave 1 behind because both of hers are very similar. The Dread Curse, her lore is 5. She'll gain +8 to her strength. I don't know that she'll need to fight that hard, so I think I'm going to have her leave the Dread Curse behind and then just lose 1 sanity. And then she also has to gain a madness condition. Okay, so there we have it. We traded madness to keep our spell magic because we need spells to close this mystery. So the game is really pushing us to the edge here. That is the end of the Mythos phase. We took a beating that turn. So thanks for joining the game. Turn 15 is next. You can click on the link. I think it's going to be over here actually. If you've missed some of the previous episodes, you can go to the playlist, which will also be over here. Click in the links below. August Moldenhauer's Cthulhu Journals out of Lovecraft's Providence, Genealogy of Cthulhu, Psychoanalysis of Aurelia, Archaeology of the Yog-Sothoth. Help support the channel. Also, we'll be setting up a Patreon and doing some live events and have some other products on the way. Like I said, these books are going to be the inspiration for an Eldritch Horror unofficial expansion. So move forward with that. Thanks everybody, and see you in the next turn. Take care.